What's good, my dudes? We're back in the saddle with another YouTube banger, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 strongest spells in the Heart Prism in Skyweaver. Heart doesn't get a lot of love. It's been going through some rough times, but I think it will be back soon, and it's going to be back with a vengeance. So it'll be interesting to look at what the strongest spells are in Heart right now. Mind you, these strongest spell videos, all of them are basically based on discovery, discovery conquest win rates, more or less. So starting with number 5, the strongest spell, the 5th strongest spell in Heart is Toil and Trouble. Yeah, Toil and Trouble, it's one of these Swiss Army knife spells, like a lot of the top spells in this series. It does lifesteal, it can go face, it adds a zap to your hand, which would also have lifesteal, and God, it only costs 1. So yeah, it's just, you can basically do so much with it for so cheap. It's always useful. It's never a dead card in your hand. And for that reason, Toil and Trouble does make the number 5 spot. Sitting right above Toil and Trouble is going to be a Dirge. Now, Dirge is a bit more conditional than something like Toil and Trouble, but because um, it buffs your board while also nerfing your opponent's board, you can use it effectively in a lot of different situations. So while it seems like maybe you'd want to have a really wide board in order to make it useful, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. And of course, if you're playing something like Heart, something like Bouran and Discovery, more often than not, you want to have a wide board anyway to set up things like Fun Guy and everything. So because this synergizes so well with the rest of the Heart cards, it ends up being one of the highest win rate spells in the Prism. Number 3 spot is going to be Dirge, or actually, number 3 spot is going to be Three Lashes. Sorry. So, Three Lashes is, in my opinion, one of the strongest removal spells in the game. It's not strong against armor, but as long as your opponent isn't playing any armor units, this thing is just super juicy. And that's because it has all these traits to it. So it has Wither, it has Lifesteal, and it even has Banner. The Banner in particular allows you to deal with some relatively big threats if you use it correctly. So yeah, it's just overall a pretty cool removal spell that does some unique shit and it stands out from the rest, I think. The number 2 spot is going to be Mind Control. Mind Control just got a nerf, so I don't think this is the strongest anymore, but there was a time when Mind Control could steal something really big, especially against like something like Ada, if she buffed up her units, and then, you steal something that you really shouldn't be. So you could cheat a lot of big units with Mind Control. Unfortunately, this card got nerfed a little bit, so it's no longer going to remain in the top spells for Heart. But it does still have the number 2 highest win rate just because of the legacy data. This data is based on the lifetime of the card. So really, if we're going to say maybe we'll go with Wall of Dead instead. I think Wall of Dead, if we're talking top spells, Wall of Dead should probably replace Mind Control right now, especially with all the Samyas again running around in Discovery. Wall of Dead just shuts Samya down. I mean, if you get a wall of zombies with guard and wither, it's basically GG most of the time. It is expensive though, so you have to make it to turn 6. But assuming you can, yeah, it's obviously a good card. And then we also have Sick Burn at the top of the list. Sick Burn is another spell that was nerfed recently. So while the legacy win rates still show it as one of the strongest, it's going to probably fall down the leaderboard or the rankings pretty quickly now, because now it discards your leftmost unit in hand to do 3 damage rather than doing the full cost of the card that you're discarding. Pretty big nerf. And for that reason, we'll say that honorary mention in place of Sick Burn is going to be Second Chance. And Second Chance is an interesting spell. It summons your top dead unit as a 4/4, gives it banner and shield. Banner is always strong, and the shield here is probably not super relevant, but To summon your top dead unit as a 4/4 is always useful, especially with heart cards, right? Because they all have the death effects. So yeah, second chance, if you use it correctly, super valuable. But it is more of a high skill cap card, so you need to be careful about when and how you use it. And that's going to be it for the top spells in Heart. Really looking at it, I think maybe Heart has some of the weakest spells when we're looking at the very top of the pyramid. Compared to all the other prisms, the top spells in Heart do seem a bit weaker. And that's in no small part due to the fact that so many of the top spells were nerfed recently. But there you have it. Those are the top spells for Heart. Next up is going to be Wisdom, and that'll be the last in the series. So if you guys want to see more videos, be sure to hit more videos like this, hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe, of course. And until next time, peace out.